Every day we get to meet people. Sometimes you get close to someone and it feels as though you've known each other for years. The flow is indescribable. Then your heart remains with them. You cherish every moment you share. Some people come into your life and leave. Others come in and stay for long. They leave an unforgettable impact in your life. As humans, the impact of people will always stick to our memory, be it negative or positive. You may want to ask, what is a soul tie? A soul tie is a spiritual and strong emotional connection between two people. The root and source of such connection may emanate from friendship, marriage, sexual intimacy, and love. There are several soul ties that has a negative impact in the life of a man. Before I share on that, please subscribe to this channel, like and share this video to your friends. Also, turn on your notification for more amazing videos. Thank you. One dangerous soul tie is a physical soul tie. This type of soul tie stems from the act of intimacy between two people who engage in fornication or adultery. This type of soul tie is more prominent among youths in the society. Though the world has neglected its negative impact, yet this soul tie has led many people into the web of frustration, depression, and suicide at the long run. You may be in a relationship with someone, but your interest is not defined. Yet you have tried avoiding sexual intimacy, but without count, you have failed to keep that promise. Many times, you have had sexual intercourse with your partner and afterwards, you felt bad and promised never to try that again. But you notice a string pulling you back to that person. It feels as though your thoughts are no longer controlled by you. You feel so entangled with the person you have sexual intimacy with. You find it hard to focus and take your mind off that person. Dear friend, this type of soul tie never ends in a hurry. It has a legal backing for its consequences. Remember that the Bible recorded that when a man meets his wife, the both of them shall become one. This shows the great depth of intimacy. Whenever you engage in sexual intimacy with anyone, you become connected to that person. You try to find help and cut off, but you cannot leave easily. It feels as though you are running mad. Your thoughts keep biting you at all times. You feel insecure over your partner to the point that you can tell how he or she feels. The physical soul tie affects ladies more because of their emotional state. It is sad that most ladies have been abused and their life ruined by the vain love and affection they get entangled into. Many youths have been lied to that the use of contraceptives will prevent any soul tie. They are now ignorant of the fact that a soul tie is more spiritual, emotional than physical. Beloved, what you call youthful exuberance and enjoyment is a trap to a long-term depression and regret. Many young people want to explore their sexual life before marriage. They take a decision and adopt a lifestyle of having casual sex with just anyone. That's a bad lifestyle that never lands anyone into the right path of greatness. Many of those who are victims of this are in regret. It looks as though they can never get tired of sex. They never get satisfied. They get confused easily, all because their lives cannot find bearing without their partner. Another soul tie that's killing you is emotional soul tie. An emotional soul tie often happens in close friendships, where you get to share personal life experiences with someone regularly and also share emotional challenges with them. At the long run, you get to forge a soul tie with that fellow. The strength of this soul tie is fostered by the content of information shared with your friend. You feel safe with them. You trust that your secrets are safe with them. It is true that this type of soul tie happens unconsciously. At the long run, you find it hard to take off the thoughts of that person off your head. It feels as though breaking off from such fellow will damage your existence. You feel insecure when you are far from such a person. Many negative thoughts run through your mind to the point that you get jealous seeing your friend with another person. Dear friend, don't play down on the strength of your emotion. You may never know how strong your mind is until you get attached with someone. The Bible also advised that you guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it proceeds the issues of life. The negative impact of a soul tie with the wrong person is when you lack focus if you are distant away from your friend or lover. You may never get to coordinate yourself except you are around your friend or lover. This is a poor habit that can wreck the dream of anyone. Remember, to succeed in life demands that you are focused and a good thinker. So, having a continuous mental picture and thought of someone who you are in love with will prevent these abilities from manifesting. I've heard of a story, a weird one at that, where a lady had sexual intercourse with a man who she felt will be her husband. Though her thoughts were wrong as regards marriage, yet he never left her mind. Her whole world was wrapped around him, despite the fact that he was no longer interested in the relationship. While they were dating, she always got beaten and molested by this young man. yet she never stopped coming to him. She could not describe the feeling she had for him. It was obvious that she was almost running mad if she doesn't get to speak to him. The weird and painful thing was that this young man she couldn't let go of her mind was no longer interested and had left for another lady. He behaved as though they never met before. At a point, she tried to stop those thoughts from ravaging her mind, but it never stopped. It looked as though there was an unbreakable chain tying her mind to this young man. Everyone around could read her predicament because it was written all over her. She lost weight, she became a shadow of herself. She lost her connection with friends and even her communion with God. It was so bad. While all these were going on, the young man moved on with his life and was never bothered. The bulk of the negative effect was all on her. Beloved, you don't have to go through all this because you refuse to read the signs on the wall. Despite the red flags in your friendship and relationship, you still went ahead. Don't get too attached with the opposite sex to the point of losing your emotional stability. Don't fall into a strong trap that will deprive you of thinking properly and being productive. For most people who are attached to the opposite sex, the emotional soul tie always drives them into having a sexual soul tie. At this point, they bonded both physically, mentally, and spiritually. That's another powerful soul tie that has wrecked the life of many great destinies. Sex, be it premarital or not, having sex with the wrong person is an opening that never leads to a favorable destination. Sexual soul tie is recognized by God because He created sex for a man as a tool of intimacy and multiplication. But this only benefits those who are legitimately married. You will get to notice that married couples adopt certain attitudes from themselves few years after marriage. They have similar resemblance, among other characteristics. This is just a little out of many changes and transactions that occurs when two people get to have sex. In the process of having sex, there is always a transfer from those involved. This transfer is characterized of both good and bad attitudes. There is a transaction of spirit. Know this, friend, sex tightens the bond between two people. So if you have many sex partners, you also have so many transferred attitudes and spirit inside of you. This is more like taking a part of you and giving it out to someone else while you adopt that of your sex partner, be it good or bad. No wonder many who have signed up to use their body as a sex tool always look empty of purpose. This is one negative effect of sexual soul tie. You get so confused that all you want at any given time is sex, just sex and nothing productive. Many who are victims of sexual soul tie find it hard to hold their sexual desires. They become loose, hence lacking in self-control. This can also be one reason for rape and other forms of sexual assaults in the society. Doing the right thing at the wrong age will ruin your life greatly. You may be listening to me right now and you may be a victim of sexual soul tie. Since you had sexual intercourse with someone, you haven't been yourself. Your mood, sexual drive, habits, and thoughts have changed negatively. Know that there is a problem you need to tackle fast. Dear friend, you need to come out plain and true with yourself and seek help. The devil has played you into committing sin. Don't allow him push you into remaining in that sin. You may have tried physically and morally to stop the negative effect of sexual soul ties, but to no avail. That is a clear sign that you need a supernatural help which only God can give. Beloved, cry to God like David. Ask Him to cleanse you with the blood of Jesus, make you whole again, chase away every demon you must have acquired while in the world. Tell God to create in you a clean heart and give you the grace to conquer every reprisal attack of the devil. You may have materials and things that draw you back to your old life. You need to do away with them and be deliberate with your life. There is no communion between light and darkness. Dear friend, run a check on your life and spot out any soul tie that is or could be a hindrance to your dream and purpose. Don't let it die down. Be intentional in order to avoid regrets later in life. Remember this: guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it proceeds the issues of life. Also, your body is God's temple, so avoid polluting your life with the cares and unnecessary pleasures of this world. The Lord is always there to help in times of need. Just trust Him.